Right, good afternoon, guys. Quite a few people have asked me why I have so many cars. That's it's more of an addiction, I think. What I intend to do with all of them, and yeah, what each one's purpose is, what they'll be seeing on the channel, and many other questions about them. So I thought I would give a little bit of brief information about each of the cars and what the intentions with them are, and shed some light. So, this is my Lexus IS200 that I bought about a month ago, which you would have seen on the channel already. Probably will be seeing more of this car than many of the others, at the moment at least. I paid £1,400 for it. It's done 140,000 miles when I bought it. The main intention with this car is basically a cheap, fun drift car that I can also track a little bit, which is going to be interesting. I'm sure many people get many laughs out of that on the channel, because obviously prepping a car for drifting and track at the same time isn't the easiest thing. Very different setups for each thing, although most things are adjustable, so it should be okay. But it's going to be a bit of a learning curve. But yeah, that's where the fun is. This car came with a fair few nice bits already done to it. It has got bigger injectors, it has got a boost gauge, because it did have a supercharger on at one point. It hasn't currently. It's got off tubular headers, a very bodged exhaust. Sounds alright though. BC coilover as well, so I have on it when I bought it. That was about it, I think. Oh yeah, and it's got some pretty poor or aged carbon fibre wrap, which is yeah, not quite to my taste, but we'll leave it on because we don't know what's underneath it, so we'll go with that for now. Had all the lips on it and a few other bits and pieces. The wheels are wheels that I had in another car. It came with some 17s. I put 18s on it because I think it looks a lot better and suits the car a lot more. For drifting, obviously I have a different set of wheels that we'll be using for that. But yeah, this mainly is a bit underpowered, but it's a really fun car to drive, to be honest. And yeah, our goal with it at the moment is to supercharge it or turbocharge it very soon, hopefully within the next 3 to 4 months, and basically just enjoy it, have some fun on track with it, and hopefully not put it into a wall would be ideal. So that is pretty much. And when eventually the engine does blow up, because we are going to push it as hard as I can until it blows up, we will be putting a 2JZ in it, and that'll be a turbo 2J. How far we'll be taking that, I'm not sure yet, but we'll see a little more down the line. But that'll all be done by myself at home, yeah, which should be a decent amount of content and should be quite good fun and informative, hopefully. That brings us to the end of this car. This is my 2013 Audi A5 Quattro. It is a 2-litre TFSI, the third generation engine, the R8 888, which is a 222 horsepower stock. I originally took this up to 330 horsepower, which was stage 2 on the stock turbo. With all the other supporting mods, i.e. intercooler, decat, exhaust, all that sort of stuff. And then I took it on a few track days last year, a couple of trips down Santa Pod, and the turbo did give up eventually. Much to my tuner's dislike, because obviously he understood more what it entailed than I did. I just thought, you know what, let's just do it, being a bit stubborn. So I put a hybrid IS38 on this car, which had to have everything custom made, which was an absolute pain, and was quite possibly not worth the money, to be honest, but it is all in the adventure, as they say. So yeah, it made 330, it blew up, and then I decided to go a little bit overboard with it. So then this beautiful hybrid IS38 that was an absolute pain in the arse to fit, because everything had to be custom made. Massive shout out to Airtech Motorsport, because they did do all of the custom pipe work for me, and that was a huge help in getting it where it needs to be, and the craftsmanship is quite beautiful, although this probably is not going to focus, but trust me, it is second to none, as always. The only issue I did have with it was the turbo elbow to an IS38. The way it attaches to these turbos has like 3 prongs. I originally assumed they'd be symmetrical, so that you could spin them. They're not. So when I span the intake the other way up, because essentially, in this car, the turbo sits upside down, compared to a Golf R, which is where it comes out of, or an S3, which is why a lot of things had to be custom made, i.e. oil lines had to be adjusted, and all sorts of other things had to be clocked to make this work. But we got there in the end. The intake was the only one thing that was a bit a bit bodged, to be honest. It was in, it looked like it was going to stay in. It didn't stay in. It came out at some point when I was driving. I looked down one day and I noticed that, I don't know if this is going to work, but you can just about see down there. Yeah, there is nothing. It's going straight, air is going straight into the front of that turbo, which is, you can run some cars like that, but it's very dangerous, because if anything goes in there, you're going to be in big shit, and it's a lot of money. So it's best that it has a proper intake, all made up properly, which we'll be doing very soon. I have got some parts for that already. I'll probably be making that up myself unless Etec gets some space to weld me one, which would be ideal, but we'll see how much time they have recently. Yeah, that is really... It needs a new oil seal at the top, because that one is currently leaking a very little bit, just weeps a little bit. So obviously when you're driving it causes a little, or when you stop it causes a little bit of smoke. Very minor, but you know, best to get these things sorted out before they cause an issue. But yeah, once this car is finished, it will most probably be sold, because I'll be honest, it's a lot of money for a car that I love, but I could have another car or a different car, or spend the money on other shit boxes. So this car will probably be going, and especially because I'm having a baby and it is a coupe, which is not ideal. And then the Mazda, there's not really a lot to go over on the Mazda. Oh sorry, well, there's a few more bits on this I should mention. Apart from all the engine work, it has got H&R springs, a splitter kit all the way around, different diffuser, RS-ish style exhaust. It's very dirty, so don't kill a man. But that is what it looks like. I didn't really want to copy an RS, but that's what it ended up looking like. I really like that. Some people don't, some people do. It has got spaces on it as well as the H&R springs. Overall, it sort of just ties the car in together. A lot of the work was mainly put into the engine of this car rather than aesthetics. That was all I felt the aesthetics needed. I really like these wheels. Some people do, some people don't. I like them, that's why they're on. So then the Mazda. The Mazda I've had for 3 years now. That has been basically the workhorse. That is 2.2 litre diesel sport that was mapped to 210 horsepower. Very economical, very reliable. It's on BC coilovers, Airtech custom intake, a few bits and pieces like that. Not really a lot to say about that, to be honest. The 86 isn't mine, although I do love it like it's mine. That is my girlfriend's. That is on 10 coilovers, a set of XXRs that I got from a friend, very cheap, so that's why they're on. But yeah, we haven't really done much else to that yet. It is an aero, it's a factory aero, it's not one that's been bodged. Yeah, it's a very, very beautiful car. It's taught me to appreciate power again. Whereas I always used to chase power in this and the Evo, and driving that made me appreciate this as well. That's a very cool car. There will be some pretty cool plans for that in the future. Possibly a 2J swap, but we'll see what time brings. The Evo, I didn't really want to talk about the Evo too much in this video. I was going to make its own separate video, because there is a lot to talk about with that car. But basically, I bought that Evo 2.5, 3 years ago now, out of a shipping container. It sat for 4 years. It had been used as a track car and, yeah, put together in a fashion, let's say. So I've taken it and done lots to it to get it back to a drivable state. It is currently being prepped for bodywork, which is why it looks so bad, but it will look very, very nice when it's done. The colour will be revealed once it's finished and not before, because it's a bit of a special colour and it's going to cause some controversy, but that's what we're all about. But yeah guys, if you've got any questions, leave them down in the comments, I will reply. If not, message me on Instagram and I will also reply there. If you could subscribe, like, comment, all that you could do, it does help dramatically in the early stages of the channel. If there's anything you'd like to see me do to any of the cars, also let me know and I shall do it. Cheers guys, thanks for watching.